Good morning, everyone. As we continue down the rabbit hole, and I'm going through the boxes in the loft, we hit the 1960s and 1970s Madagascan Fleet Air Arm collection. So the 1960s in my what if timeline coincides with the discovery of vast oil reserves off the coast of Madagascar in what is in reality the Mozambique Strait, what I'm calling the Oilum Strait. So the early 60s starts off with the Madagascans having F-11 Tigers, which they fitted Avon engines to, resolving the type's main issue. Early Skyhawks A4B and A4C. Demons, which again they fitted Avons to, resolving the type's main issue. So the Demon in Madagascan service continued for quite a while, up until 1969. So here it is with AIM 7E Sparrows and AIM 9B Sidewinders. This is the old MHAR kit with some etch to fix one of the main failings of that kit, which is those little etched parts there. I've got a sword kit, which as you can see is half built. I need to get and build that. I've got a Tugar Fast Fac trainer. And then from 1958, we've got the Gannet AS4. This is the Revell kit, which is one of the most complicated kits I have ever seen or built in my entire life. So this is the early 60s to 1969. So I'm saying that in this period, Madagascar wound up helping the Americans in the Vietnam War as part of a SEATO commitment. So if we tip this up, we've got the single fuel tank, we've got a jamming pod, and we've got those two Sparrows and two Sidewinders. With the Rolls-Royce Avon engine fitted, the type's main deficiency, which was a rubbish engine, was resolved. So this continued into service well after the American examples had been retired. I really like the Demon. I think it's a great looking plane, and I need to finish this sword build. Now, what I've realised is that my build programme has pretty much jammed up in this period. There should be another Buccaneer, which I need to go and find in the loft, and helicopters have also taken a bashing in this period. There is, of course, another Neptune, which I need to build. So again, a lot of work cut out still to do. So here we have in 1969, another massive change in the Madagascan defence structure. We have the arrival of the F4J Phantom, not an F4K as the Royal Navy went for, which had the space, but a proper F4J. Now I've done this with a gun pod, which looks rather nice underneath. This was built in the period before you could actually get a proper F4J. Nowadays you can actually get a decent one. So I had to scratch build this in some ways, taking spare wing panels from another kit and merging them with the Italeri F4S kit, because the F4J didn't have the leading edge slats on the end, so it is a bit rough and ready. We also have the arrival of the Buccaneer S2, a superb strike aircraft, and that needs some finishing off and retouching where storage has not been kind to it. And then we have the Gannet AEW. So the Gannet AEW takes over the role from the Avenger AEW and provides the aircraft carriers with early warning. We've then got the helicopter, which is used on the smaller ships and as plane guard. This is the UH-1F, an Italeri model, a very nice model and somewhat hard to get now. And then for troop carrying purposes, we've got the Wessex HU5. So this area is really gappy. Now what I'm saying, and where I'm sort of twisting time, is these were based on the old Essex class carriers, which Madagascar got two of after World War II. And then they managed to secure the CVA-01, the unbuilt project carriers that Britain didn't want. Madagascar said, well, we've got oil money, we'll buy them instead. So British yards stayed busy and Madagascar got the free CVA-01 carriers, which have lasted until the early 2000s. So I have a lot of work to do in this area of the rabbit hole. And I've got other helicopters to build, like I've got a Seabat helicopter here, which is late 50s, early 60s. I've got the Wessex Mark 31 from Frog to build upstairs. I've got another Neptune to build. I've got so much stuff in the loft, it is unbelievable. And as I've gone through these boxes, I've realised that some of the detailing is pretty iffy. So I need to do a bit of correction. It's going to take some time. The other thing I've managed to do is, excuse the massive mess here, hello cat, is I've come up with some decals. So here we have the Madagascan the new roundel decals. So it's based on an RAF roundel, which is readily available. And it has the M. It looks a bit like Super Mario, unfortunately. So that's from the period of the mid-60s to the early 80s. And then just after World War II, and again I need to tie these in with some decal solution, we have the SEATO, Southeast Asia Command decals for the post-World War II aircraft. So there we go, the rabbit hole continues and the rabbit hole production line continues.